Hello, welcome to LearnDoBecome Radio. This is April Perry.
And this is Eric. Hello, everybody. How are you doing?
We're excited to be recording together. And just a quick side note, Eric and I are sitting out in our backyard under a tree, so if you hear some background noises, there's all kinds of stuff just going on.
Or if one of us gets stung by a hornet, that's what it was.
It's just such a pretty day. We're like, let's just record outside. We had just read this awesome post that was in our Step Mastery Facebook group about somebody who had worked to make some progress and then didn't make as much progress as she wanted to and was feeling a little down. And it was amazing to see the responses, and Eric and I thought we'd record.
Yeah, it's an awesome post with some amazing comments. We're trying to figure out what the best way to title this would be, and we were thinking of a variety of things. I was thinking like, our enough is enough, right? Our best efforts,
I like it.
That's enough, right?
So if you are working on something, whether it's building your Command Central, like we teach in our Steps to Everyday Productivity program, or maybe you're getting a room organized, or you're starting a new professional project, or you're planning a bunch of things with your family, a lot of times when we put effort in, we don't quite get the results out that we had hoped. I mean, Eric and I don't really know how that is, because everything that we do just turns out
magically. We have these two wands we found when we were born, and just magically. But you hear like that phrase out there, I think like on the internet, that like, you know, finished is better than perfect.
Yeah.
And I would even suggest maybe like started is better than thought about, right? And so I love this post because, yeah, she stepped in and she had like this amazing effort. It wasn't like completely finished or maybe perfect, quote unquote perfect, but it was awesome. And big win.
So I'll give a brief synopsis of what she shared, maybe read a little bit of what she said. And if you're part of our Step Mastery community, you can pop in the Facebook group and you can find the post there and comment there if you'd like. But for those who aren't yet in our program, or maybe just want to participate in the general free resources here at Learn to Become, I'll give you a little synopsis. So she said, I had a hard time not beating myself up tonight. She wanted to watch a replay of our Clear the Space live event. We'll put that link in the show notes so you can go find that if you'd like. But she said she had a hard time finding the recording, so she started into the program and spent about 30 minutes actually going through our STEP program, Steps to Everyday Productivity. And she did about 30 minutes, but then she found the recording of Clear the Space and watched 22 minutes of that. But after all of that, she actually didn't start to clear the space, but she put in nearly an hour of work. And she was trying to print this one new sheet that she wanted, but they didn't have ink in the printer, which we know what that's like as well. So she was feeling a little discouraged. But then she said, but I put in the time and did the work.
And that's all in caps. I love that. It's like this definitive, I put in the time, I did the work.
Yeah, and I love that she acknowledged that I set aside time tonight to move forward on steps, so that is a success. She says, I just have to scream at progress over perfection and hashtag step win. That's a hashtag we use often to share our wins. And then she said, the mind is the battlefield. Then she officially declared her commitment and said, hey, your prayers are imperative to push through the resistance and anxiety. They're endlessly appreciated. And right now, I think she just posted it, 12 hours ago, something like that, and we already have 22 comments. I haven't commented yet. This was just a whole bunch of steppers jumping in. And so, anyway, Eric, what are your initial thoughts when you read that?
I love that middle paragraph, though, and she just declares, I put in the time and the work. I set aside time tonight to move forward and step and these things I'm working on. So that is a success. And then she says, I'm fighting the voice in my head that says it wasn't. And I think that's so true, right? It's oftentimes our own thoughts and feelings that push us back or get us down. And then that last sentence in that paragraph, she said, the mind is the battlefield. And I thought that was actually that's like one of my favorite things that stuck with me all morning since April shared this with me, that a lot of times, like the success, the victory, the progress we want to make, it's forged first in our minds, either before or after the effort, right? Yeah. And it's not letting ourselves get down if after the effort it wasn't quite as much as we had planned or hoped for. It's we made the progress, recognize it, and keep progressing. So I'm just really proud of her.
Yeah, no, same. And I thought maybe we could just share some of the awesome comments that were made by the fellow steppers, because I just want you to feel how much encouragement is here for you at Learn Do Become. Whether you're in our free groups and participating in those resources, or if you're in an official program like STEP or Arise, we have, I think, the most kind, compassionate, encouraging community I've ever seen.
It is incredible.
So good. And so, anyway, there's first from Jamie. She just shared...
can I read this one? Because you want to...
do you want to read this one? Okay.
This is like really fun.
Okay.
So Jamie's like, here's some more fun quotes to add. Keep moving forward. I play that scene from Meet the Robinsons in my mind all the time. Do the next right thing. Thanks to Frozen 2, there's a song for this too. Great job staying with it today. You got in the water, you splashed. You maybe doggy paddled or held your breath. Keep showing up to practice and you'll swim the full length of the pool. And that's just another fun one for you. Just keep swimming. You've got this.
It was so great. So that was amazing. Love that. Okay, and then in response to Jamie, Kimberly said, "Oh, awesome. I love these. I'm not much of a swimmer, but I also refuse to drown.
That's awesome.
An elderly couple saw me struggling when I was about 19. I couldn't manage the actual swim part yet, so they taught me how not to drown. Chin up. Stop thrashing. As long as you point your chin up toward the sun, your body will follow. Your nose will come out of the water. Calm your body. Thrashing can disorient your body and draw sharks." I was in the pool, but I got the idea. And then she just said, to the one who posted, "You did so much better than you think you did. Please allow yourself to relax in the pool, aka area of clutter. Calmly sit a moment, pray, chin up, find your direction." I just love this encouragement. And so it was just really cute to see.
And then it's funny because the actual poster then said, "I actually can't swim. I went to swimming lessons for 2 summers and could never have the confidence to do it correctly. I tell people I know enough not to drown." So the swimming analogies are pretty funny.
That's perfect. So, I mean,
awesome.
And just to back up for a moment, sometimes it's not about having that success right that minute, but it's like, not drowning, not giving up. Eric and I, so many of our conversations that we have are like, why do we try so hard to do XYZ when it seems like no one cares, or it doesn't matter, or all this work is just for nothing? I mean, we feel that probably more often than we would like. But usually we just need a good night's sleep and a little break, and then we come back and we know, hey, we're doing these things for a reason, whether it's parenting or serving or creating, whatever it is there.
It's amazing what a good night's sleep will do for most situations we face in life.
We just help each other. Don't make decisions right now. Just go to bed.
Don't do it.
Okay, next one's from Clarice.
Hello, Clarice. When April shared that with me this morning, I'm sure every Clarice out there hates the fact that that's now going to be said with their name, but
it's a beautiful name.
It's a beautiful name. I love it. But she had a great comment, but I just couldn't help but saying hello to Clarice.
She said, "Bravo, keep moving forward one step at a time." And then she has a little photo of a fortune cookie.
Fortune.
And it says, "Even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there." So I thought that was awesome.
It's a great one.
So, okay, hopefully that will, inspire you a little more.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Amber had one that was great. She said, "Atomic Habits had a lot to say about showing up for your eventual goal. 1% better is worth it." Mm-hmm. And it's just those little incremental, marginal improvements or efforts, right? They make a world of difference compounded.
Okay, next was from Angela. She said, "This is my fight as well. Thank you for posting progress over perfection." And then there's another one from Sharon, "Me too," and Robin, "You got this." And Gina's, "You took the first step. Congratulations." I love just hearing other people say, hey, you're not alone. We know what you're going through. We understand it's hard. It's okay that you're struggling. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to read the next one?
Well, I was going to say, I don't know how many you want to do, or
yeah, let's read a few more.
With Stephanie? Mm-hmm. Okay, so Stephanie said, "Hang in there, reading your post. I almost thought I was reading about me. I had an evening just like that about a week ago. Push through it, get some sleep, and rejoice in fresh perspective the next day."
See, she encouraged sleep too.
Sleep's a good thing.
Like magic. And then Scott and Angela added, "Beating yourself up is never productive." And I'm thinking, I know that, but sometimes it just feels just so natural for me sometimes. I am working on that. You're right. It's never productive. She's right.
I was trying to think of a way in which it was productive. Unless you're trying to convince somebody that you've been kidnapped, beating yourself up to create some bruises probably is not. It doesn't produce anything.
It doesn't. But just to give it a little validation, the whole thing that we've learned from David Burns and from my coach Mike Christensen, who came and joined us in our Rise group last year, when you can do a positive reframe and recognize, well, the reason we beat ourselves up is because it serves us in some way. So, and you might think wait, what? How does beating yourself up serve you? But often if we're down on ourselves, we're basically saying, hey, this isn't the standard that we feel is optimal. This isn't our standard.
Can you just write yourself a letter? Hey, dear self, this isn't the standard. Do better next time.
Well, it just shows that we want to do better. It shows that we're working towards something. It shows that we recognize, oh yeah, this actually isn't how I want to do it every day. Because yes, if you're trying to build your Step Command Central, you don't want to spend an hour every night doing something random that doesn't get you results.
Yeah.
That's not going to feel good. It's like when you're, exercising and you're trying to get a healthier body, and no matter what you do, it doesn't make any difference. Like, why do you keep doing it if you notice zero differences?
Yeah.
So I think it is good for us to acknowledge those things, but to do it in a way where we don't have to be so hard on ourselves.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Chris actually had a comment that kind of goes along with that. She said, this is where an accomplishment list can come in handy. If you can't check an item off your to-do list, go ahead and list off the things you did instead. Celebrate that. Never beat yourself up. No one ever did better by being made to feel worse. You've tried this admonishment bit your whole life. Are you ready to try something different? Pretend you are 4 and struggling. What words would you use with a 4-year-old? Keep going, keep looking, keep trying. You can do it. Look what you've already accomplished. Use those words.
I love it.
They're great.
That's so good, Chris. And it's really, really sweet. And then the poster had commented, hey, Chris, everybody says, what would you tell a little kid or things like that? I'm not sure what I would tell a little kid. I'm not necessarily good with them, but maybe I need to sit with that thought for a bit and come up with some things. Interesting thought. Thank you.
Yeah.
Then they just kind of had a little conversation back and forth. But Chris added, having internal scripts, especially to replace negative ones you might have heard in childhood, is extremely valuable. And she has just some awesome comments here about how each one of us deserves this self-love, compassion.
Well, that's actually one thing I'll say. Like, there's actually a whole side string that we won't read every comment from, but it's one of the reasons why like this Step Mastery group is so incredible, because it's not just support around, oh, let's get organized, let's work through some projects, let's come up with a really effective context-based next actions list. It's, as some of these kind of things from our own lives and circumstances come up, you've got this whole community, this network of people who have some thoughts or ideas that they're there to just contribute, to share. Again, no one's telling anybody what to do, but just some things to consider thinking about or doing that really does make this an extremely supportive, super helpful community.
And in case someone is brand new here and wondering, what's this STEP thing you're talking about and what are you doing?
We're not telling you.
Real briefly, Steps to Everyday Productivity, our STEP program, helps you to build what we call a STEP Command Central. And it's a system that holds all of your papers, goals, projects, tasks, messages, everything that's usually swirling around in your brain and in piles all over your house and your desk. And so we teach people how to build that. The thing is that I'm noticing more and more in myself and with the community members that we serve is that this is so much less about making lists and cleaning your house, and it's more about getting to the root of what's happening inside ourselves, like our sense of dignity, respect, confidence, compassion, love, like acceptance of the things maybe we've been through that have been really hard, having to deal with some of that, and see that we're strong and that we can make a change. It's a whole different thing. So sometimes people come in and they think, okay, you're just going to teach me how to clean my house.
It's much more than just an organizational program.
Yeah, that's why now in our new STEP program, we've just revamped the whole thing. We have a mindset part right at the beginning. Because I know as you start digging through piles of stuff or start sorting and putting things together, you're going to have to face some things that aren't going to feel that exciting. You're going to
some thoughts, some feelings, some memories, some internal dialogue.
Yeah, like that one piece of paper you were supposed to fill out that dealt with something really
3 years ago.
3 years ago, and you don't want to touch it, but you have to. And it's learning how to kind of get through all that, which is why I think I've been so interested studying cognitive behavioral therapy and what's happening in our minds, because we all have things that have been hard for us, and we all have stuff we have to process and work through. But the reason I love this community so much is because it shows you that you don't have to do it alone, which I think is amazing.
Yeah.
So, okay, any others you want to share?
I guess most of them, there's some great stuff in the thread.
And it's still growing.
It's growing back and forth and back and forth. But I think, like April was saying, like, wherever you might be listening to this podcast, this little short recording, just recognize that, you are enough, and there's so much to you that's valuable and good. And wherever you are, like whatever you feel like maybe the next step or two forward is, just have that confidence to take it, put in the time, put in the work. It doesn't have to be complete, perfect, and flawless, but just identify what that next action, that next step would be for you, and put a little bit of energy into it, knowing that it's going to have a reward.
And maybe we should share more of our stories where things go completely wrong, so that.
But honey, we don't have any of those.
Maybe I'll just close with one.
How about it?
Okay, so I talked about this, I think in last week's episode. I just shared how sometimes you have projects that aren't fun, but you still want to do them because they'll give you a good result. And one of our projects was we had to have our floors totally refinished on our main floor. And so we had to move all the furniture to different rooms of the house. Then we had to leave the house for, a couple days while they did all the sanding and staining.
And it was crazy. It was in February, where we live. It was like the 2 coldest days of the year.
6 degrees.
Like it dropped down crazy low, and we're like, what are we doing?
We're just trying to manage with, So anyway, it took a lot of work, and then we couldn't put any rugs or mats or anything down for 5 or 6 months because the floor is wood floors. I had to cure and everything. Anyway, the floors finally look so good. And we were so happy. We're like, okay, that project was worth it. And then last week, one of our children was making some Muddy Buddies and washed out the pan and left it on the counter to soak. And then the pan is like one of those aluminum pans, had a hole in it. And so the child didn't know. And so no one was home while this pan was soaking on the counter and just dripped water all over the floor. And now the wood is like buckled again, like right where
we call that the Muddy Buddy section of the kitchen floor, and we enjoy
fine.
Walking over it.
And it's not as bad as the other one was, and we don't have to have the floors all redone. But it was like, seriously, we just got this repaired, and now, it's nobody's fault. We were mad. It was just, it's one of those things. It's like life happens. But I think we probably have 1,000 of those kinds of stories from our marriage and time together.
Maybe 1,000.
I don't know.
Maybe 4 million.
But I think all of us have those stories. You have things where you tried so hard and then it just didn't turn out. The thing is, that's not typically what we put on social media. That's not what we announce to everyone saying, hey, want to see?
Look at me, my Muddy Buddy floor section.
So just because you don't hear about it from everyone doesn't mean it's not happening. So I just think that's a helpful perspective to just keep in mind. And that's why I think being part of a community of people who are okay being real and being, authentic and open and just saying, yeah, it's not perfect, but we can still celebrate our wins and we can still celebrate all the great things moving forward.
We should start a social media site called Real Book or Actual Gram. Here's what life really looks like.
So we love you so much, and if you want to learn more about our Step Mastery community and maybe even come in, be part of it, become a stepper, you can learn more. We have a free training at LearnDoBecome.com/step. We'll also have links and more details of how you can get involved in the Learn to Become community on the show notes page. So you can click the link, pop over there if you're listening to us on a podcast app, or maybe you are already on our website while you're listening to this. But we love you and appreciate you.
Thanks so much for being with us and listening to this. We love you, and remember, your enough is enough.
Awesome. See you soon at LearnDoBecome.com.